Well, hello again, beloved mighty companions. Welcome to this holy light circle. Let's start the evening with focusing
Friday
on the
evening?
light.
Did you say Thursday or Friday?
Oh, no, I just said evening.
Oh, okay.
I
Sorry.
said, oh, it's okay. I said, let's start this evening by focusing on the light within. So tonight we are looking at the desire to focus or to look for love in all the wrong places, the desire to look for love where love is not.
What I'm hearing right up front is I don't know what love is. I think I do, so I go looking for it.
Yeah. Well, let's just admit that we must have a desire to be not at peace if we're experiencing even the teeniest little upset. And so we're just going to say, I have a desire to feel the experience of looking for love in all the places it is not. And Jesus, can you show us what is below our level of awareness that is miscreating this experience, and what miracles are needed to clear this misperception? What desire am I trying to hide from the light beneath this feeling? And let's just ask Jesus if we could get in touch with just how we love to marinate in that feeling of unrequited love, looking for love in places where we'll never find it. I heard that there's a preoccupation with guilt. Jesus, do we have a preoccupation with guilt that keeps us looking for love in all the wrong places, so to speak? Yes. Hmm. Well, even though this is more approval related, I'm reminded of Max Lord's relationship with the idea of more, and how, in a sense, he too was looking for love somewhere where he was not bound to find it. His son was there, available for him, loved him dearly, and he was lost in the idea of more, looking for love and approval in a place where it ain't gonna happen.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm guided by spirit to read this desire off of the, well, not desire, but one of these key points off of the Wonder Woman. It says, you cannot have it all. That would be the desire for more. You can only have the truth. Cease to wish for something other than God. So Jesus is our desire to look for love where it is not, a desire to look, to wish for something other than God. Yeah, I heard it's like we're terrified of God's love, so we look for imitations of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a belief in the ego that God's love will destroy us.
Yeah, it seems that love is acquired through action.
Yeah, there's like an action button inside of every person, and it just keeps being pushed in an attempt to fill that need. It's like the ego keeps pushing that button of well, it's kind of like the crane game, except for you never win. And you usually don't win those things anyway. They're like rigged, they're designed so that you don't win very often. His son represents real and true love, like God's love, the God's son. Yeah, there, it seems like there's something with the ego, it doesn't find it appealing or something like that.
Yeah, it was interesting that Max, in talking with his son at the very end, was saying, well, I wanted to prove all these things to you so that you would be proud of me, or that you would love me. And the sense is that you don't have to do anything to prove, to prove to me that I love you. I just love you. So somehow Max thought, more is better, and you have to prove yourself before people will love you.
Yeah. I think I'm hearing that we should return to the relishing of the original desire
Mhm.
and just see what's below that, you know? Okay, what I heard is a wish for love in form. What I heard was a specific form. So the ego kind of has like an idol, a specific form. It could be a puppy, it could be a flower, it could be a person, it could be anything really. But that idol is actually an attack on ourselves.
Yes. Attack on who we really are, not on who we think we are.
Yeah. So it's necessary to stay firm in that conviction that what we see is not who we are, unless it's true vision, Holy Spirit vision. It's like otherwise it's not divine function. It's just appearances. And I'm reminded of the Course passage, I see only the past in this phone. I see only the past in this picture of Jesus on the wall. Or in the mind, I see only the past in this idea of unrequited love. Gosh, it's like there's something in the mind that's like, it's like a Shakespearean poem, but not as eloquent. Like, it's like, love me, why won't you love me? But it's picking the exact thing that is incapable of offering that unconditional love.
That's a good way to get ourselves off the hook, so to speak, and not be responsible.
Yeah, there's definitely like a demand for love to be a certain way.
What is it for? Let's ask Jesus, what is it for? Always a good question. Or what is its purpose?
It's like there's something through the action of like the moving, the changing that but I need to ask Jesus like what that is. What's under that?
Yeah, let's do that.
That attraction to the action, that love is an action.
Yeah. Then I hear, but I can't do non-action because that's an action. It's this whole mind, the expletive, that word. It's a real mind fuck. It really is.
Yeah, I think our channel is set to not that the child content thing is like, this is for adults. So
I figured, yeah. Joining itself is for all ages, but sometimes we get into some very deep stuff here.
The settings on the channel are definitely for 18 and older. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Not that I'm gonna, use that word all the time, but it felt appropriate in this case. It's because the ego is trying to figure out how to do unconditional love.
How to do it.
Yeah. The do word is the issue there. And God says, no, surrender, be open, receive. And it's like a hammer.
It's like what?
A hammer.
I still
Hammering
didn't catch it.
away. Hammer.
Oh, hammering. Mm-hmm.
Well, even ceasing to deny seems like an action.
It does. And that's the mind F. Because, well, Jesus, how do we see it not as this totally contradictory thing? Like, I heard return to the relishing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's this idea that I'm going to find love through demand.
And the only thing the ego knows how to do is to demand that it stops demanding. It's like, I came across a question today. It was, how mean are you to yourself? That is a really good one, because who wants to be mean to themselves? Nobody wants to be mean to themselves. And yet that demand feels like the exact opposite of what we're desiring.
I do hear that I'm willing to consider that I could be confused.
Perfect. I'm mistaken. I admit I'm mistaken.
That I can find love through demand.
Yeah. I was just shown something. Maybe the ego's rationale is something like this. If I was out in the wilderness and there was a mirror in front of me, and I just yelled at that mirror, after a while, I'd realize that action was futile. And I would start to understand that there might be another approach I could take. But that's the long way, once again, which is why Jesus offers this collapse of time, because we don't want to have to yell at the mirror for 5 years. It feels like the ego's only approach is like, why is my nose shaped this way? Like, why is this black and white? Like, it's always asking why, and it's not getting anywhere. It's just not.
Endless and looking for answers that cannot be found in form.
It thinks that by doing that, it can like break through something. But it never happens that way. It's always grace. It's always the light. Oh, here we go. And right below this, we are trying to convince God that something good, in this case, love, is going to come from the play in consciousness, that more is better. Well, I know that's slightly different than what we're looking at here, but more is better is kind of like trying to get the love from something outside, like, which you can't get love from anything outside. Yeah, we really need a miracle on this one, Jesus, because I don't see how that illusion can be dispelled.
Are you hearing anything for the value being placed on it? Like what
That is a good one. Yeah.
yeah.
I did hear survival. But deeper than that, below that is like just that denial of divinity again. Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing earlier today how there's like this that I'm gonna belong, like I'm looking to belong.
Belong.
Yeah, to belong and feel like part.
And I'm reminded, I heard these words, but I thought it was Jesus, but then I also remember that it's this Zen teacher Huang Po. He said, by their very seeking for it, they lose it. Mm-hmm. So there's something that seeks for that belonging or that love, mm-hmm. and by the very seeking for it, it's lost.
What I've been hearing is that there's a perverse pleasure never finding.
Seek do not find. Yep.
It's definitely like pleasure in exclusion, excluding myself from the light, and then, kind of playing that's the other side of the play, wanting to belong and feeling that's, yeah.
It's twisted. Like, it's like if you had how the principles of God, like the law of God, and you went like this and twisted it. Yeah. And also I was seeing a straw. If it's straight and there's no holes, the water goes straight through. But if it's bent, then only a little bit of water comes out, or none at all. So
yeah, see all the places where making exceptions or excluding including the light.
Well, this is another dream that we are seeking to dispel, and reminded that the only way out of the dream is uncompromisingly following the inner voice for God. So seek divine function. If there's anything that we would seek, if the seeker needs to seek for something, it would be to seek for God or divine function or Holy Spirit, not a potato or chandelier or elbow, or not something in form.
Yeah, I'm being reminded of how when we're looking at something and then we ask for his interpretation of it, he uses that anything in form to point back. So we can see the wholeness in the fragment when we're asking for the correction, and that's all we want. We don't. So it's like to say no to everything else and just say, okay,
Yeah.
nothing else works. Only this, only the miracle.
Yeah, what was just shown to me is, where it says here, until we are willing to see how we flipped heaven and hell, we will suffer. Well, then we can see that and go, okay, now show us how to unflip it. Is it time for a miracle, or is there something more to see here? Because I'm not interested in anything other than perfect happiness.
Yep.
Yeah, I felt that shift. That's good.
Yeah.
I do sense a little bit of holding. And I was pointed to this quote: the world is a wish to have an experience other than God, anything other than happiness. So what the Holy Spirit was showing me was that anything in form is not going to bring happiness. And so then my ego's like, okay, what then what? And it's great, because that's where the light test comes in handy. Do we need anything in form? Like, does the light need anything in form?
Yeah, it's like even using the question to undo the question.
Yeah.
Because in the light there's no question.
Yeah. Does the light need to seek for love in all the wrong places?
No.
No. The confusion for the ego is it doesn't understand what that even means, because all it knows is external reality, TV, foot, carpet, whatever. And it can't conceive of anything beyond that. So we have to say, okay, we need a retranslation, reinterpretation. Holy Spirit, pronto, come on, let's go. you know? So that's where I think that's where I feel a little bit of holding, is because we really are so easily hypnotized by the external.
And God said, let there be light.
I'm just hearing that slowly over time, that unrequited love will kind of undo itself as we just keep turning to the light. It's like the play of consciousness will just kind of reveal whatever that's all about. Yeah. How are we on time, Mary?
About 10 minutes.
Okay, good. Are you hearing anything more about this one?
Yeah, let me grab it back again.
Can you read the desire?
Yeah, it's desire to look for love in all the wrong places, or in other words, the desire to look for love where it is not. Or there's a desire to look for love where love is not. There we go. I think it's good for it to be exact like that.
Yeah, I've been hearing, it seems that every human being, quote unquote, wants love, and yet there's a lot of head talk about it. And we
Yeah.
don't look deeper than that to see what it is that it's like the desire for something's missing. Love is missing, or I have to go find it, but I never find it. I'm always looking in the wrong places, so I never really find it. So there's a lot of kind of dancing on the surface of it. And as we look at it more directly, it's like, and ask to see it clearly, then there's a different kind of experience that begins to well up. That's not what I expected love to be.
Right. Yeah. You know, a couple years back, I resolved to be the sleeping sage. So what I decided was I'm not gonna get out of bed. I'm just gonna lay in bed until something moves me, to get out of bed. And it was strange because I thought that by doing that, I would be able to get down to a deeper level of like love, but love is through experience. In a sense, I am not using that word to refer to the boardwalk or the play of consciousness, but the experience, the direct experience. And it's not that the direct experience can't be had while lying in bed. It's just that it can be had while not laying in bed too. So it showed me that even the strategy of laying in bed is still can be used as a way to block love's presence, which was kind of baffling to me because I was just in the place of what I viewed as surrender to this presence and, okay, love, have your way with me, show me what you would have me see, and yeah, it really doesn't like any sort of strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would say it doesn't like it. It just, any strategy blocks it, even deciding to lay in bed. But that is a pretty good one that one could apply, or the bath. Those are very relaxed states of being that it's easier to move into surrender. So if there is some kind of subtle efforting that like is going on, those movements can be helpful when there's still a sense of autonomy, of just letting love have its way with us.
I think it's so powerful with Jesus and New Covenant, looking at desires for, like, what is it that's blocking love, the awareness of love, and desire for autonomy is certainly one of them.
Right, because love is already here. We already are that. So we just have to find the things that are keeping it from being obvious.
Yeah, that are blocking. And looking for it outside ourselves where it can't be found, it doesn't help. Except we can come to the recognition that it's not working and decide maybe there's a better way.
Right, we can use it like the Holy Spirit can show us, see how futile this is, see how this does not bring any sort of feeling of connection or love. Like it will show us that. Yeah.
Well, there is nothing outside. That's the point. There's nothing outside.
Outside is a word. It's not even a word.
Yeah, there is
It's a
nothing
mouth
outside.
sound.
There is no secret outside.
Outside.
So
Yeah, we use words, and words can be stepping stones or diversion.
yeah, everything is within.
What I found in my experience here is that it's just getting quiet and asking a question and then being quiet and listening. Not trying to figure anything out.
The idea of getting quiet based on I don't know what, like it was like I was born hammering at everything.
If you decide that you're going to get quiet and listen and ask, then that's a different kind of experience than just hammering at it or insisting or whatever. Or
where is it? Like, what I just need to ask right now, like as it's coming up, like what is it for?
What is what for?
The hammering. What is it for?
I'm kind of getting lost in the words here. Why don't we go back to the relishing of our
Right. Yeah. Let's go
our
back.
desire?
Well, we can ask if the demand, if that sense of demand is cleared, or if there's more to see, if there's holding with that. Is there still a demand?
Yeah, I still want to get back to the relishing of the desire. It seems like we're kind of in tributaries or whatever, and yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to the relishing of the desire to look for love where love isn't.
And really relishing that. What I'm hearing is that it's almost along with it is the desire for frustration and endless looping.
Yeah, I noticed that like when frustration comes up in moments of where there has been clarity, the only thing the mind does here is like frustration, 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 frustration. And like it's like there's got to be an easier way than that. Like
distraction.
Mm-hmm.
from divinity. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we just look and look and look, it starts to disappear. It starts to dissipate.
Feels like perfect timing because I'm noticing a really big shift now.
So are we holding or releasing with this desire?
I'm definitely feeling release now.
Well, I feel light, like lightness.
Yeah, I hear release.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you said, Jamila? You feel release?
Like I see light.
Ah.
Release. Yeah. Sometimes I see
Good.
visual. Sorry.
It's like it goes from being like in a fire to like a light bath. I notice.
It seems to go from impossible and intractable sometimes to light, where it just
Yeah. There's a definite warmth that starts to blossom into the moment.
Mm-hmm. So let's ask Jesus if we've accepted a miracle. Has the healing occurred?
Yeah. Yeah, I really feel it.
Mhm.
It's a very subtle shift.
Yeah, it's just our willingness that makes it possible for the miracle to enter in. Just the little willingness, that faith of a mustard seed, just that open, ready to receive God's grace. Yeah, it gets so simple. It's like it goes from feeling impossible to simple. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, are we good for tonight?
Yep. Yeah, the
Okay.
timer went off. I don't know if you could hear it.
I did. Yeah.
I put it on mute, but
Right. Well, since we started on time, we should probably end on time, right?
what a concept.
Or what have you. Yeah. Well, love and blessings, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Yeah.
Aloha.
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 What time is it
Mahalo.
in Hawaii?
In Hawaii.
Jamuna?
I'm sorry?
What time is it? What time is it?
2:45 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right. Beloved,
7:45 here.
I love you. I bless you. Thank you.
Yay.